My name is Nick Duncan. I manage the R&D systems team at Beam Suntory. Beam Suntory was created in 2014 by combining a pioneer in Japanese whiskey and the world leader in premium bourbon. Some of our brands are Maker's Mark, Jim Beam, Legent, and many others. So Beam Suntory implemented Planisware in 2016 on version 6.1. Since then, we've upgraded a couple of times on version 6.3.9 is right now. And Planisware manages sort of the end-to-end implementation of new products and changes to existing products anywhere in the world. So projects at Beam Suntory operate through a stage gate model, and so anything from ideation to execution is all run and governed through the system. That includes stage gate deliverables, project execution deliverables, project financials, artwork review, and all things that touch that project in order to bring it to life. So Beam Suntory has a very strong continuous improvement mindset, and so we're always evaluating the efficacy of our business processes. And so it was a natural fit that we were going to be examining our stage gate process as a result of a operating model change. And so with that, we had a request to see, were we really working in the right way? Were there things that we could do more effectively? And in order to make that decision, we first had to design some data and methodologies to assess that question and then answer it as well. So I think that the biggest value that we realized was that for the most part, our processes are effective. They were working. We did need to make some tweaks, and there are some things that we're going to definitely do a little bit differently, but overwhelmingly, we were able to quantify that we do have an effective process. It was editing our pipeline in an effective way, ensuring that we're working on the right things, the right on-strategy things, bringing the right products to life to meet our emerging business needs. Yeah, I think the biggest unique value driver for Beam Suntory using Planisware is that Planisware actually is what facilitates a lot of the work that is actually required to bring a product to life. So rather than using traditional project management where a human has to communicate to their cross-functional partners on when they need to do their work, if there's any slip in the project schedule, instead we let the system do a lot of that through automation, in particular through some very choiceful workbox configurations. We can then have users interact with the system directly. They record actual finishes automatically through pop-ups on that workbox. It removes a lot of the non-value added work from a human as our project managers and lets a computer do that instead. Success in the distilled spirits industry is predicated on an ability to react with agility to new and emerging market needs, a fast-moving market. And so as a result, we have a data-driven decision-making culture where we're always reevaluating whether or not our processes are effective or optimal. And so the KPIs that we implemented were primarily based around the feedback that we got conducting stakeholder interviews. So from an executive leadership team standpoint, we interviewed them to find out what was important to them, what was important to the decision-making processes that they were going to use. And based on that feedback, we implemented KPIs to reflect those answers. Yeah, leadership was incredibly supportive of this initiative. Their feedback was extremely valuable. They provided us with iterative updates. They collaborated with us. And most importantly, they gave us their trust. While we're always evaluating our success criteria, one of the first directional indicators that we've been making improvements was a shift in how people talk about the process. Rather than it being a burdensome thing that they have to go through, instead it was a thing that they desired because it was going to allow them to collect data to inform their future decisions. Planisware supports all of the business processes required to bring our products to life from a planning standpoint. And so what that means is that it supports the ideation of our long-term pipeline. It supports the business case development, the financial forecasting, the artwork development and review processes, the planning cycles, and really anything that is part of our project's critical path to bring a new product to life. So the advice I would give is to conduct stakeholder interviews, understanding what's important to the people who are responsible for executing projects, as well as the people who are responsible for deciding which projects we should do, is crucially important, because that feedback is going to be the foundation of what you decide to look at to determine future efficacy. So the words of advice I would give to new Planisware customers is to, one, think about how your support model for the application is going to work. I think a lot of organizations have a tendency to separate the technology solutions from the business processes that those solutions are designed to support. And Planisware is a unique application in that separation, I think, actually causes a lot more problems. And so instead, the recommendation that I would have is to try to manage the application from within the business. So that way you're close to the business processes, and those business practices are reflected in the system itself. I think good PPM should be a mirror. It should be a mirror for your organization, and it should reflect your true needs rather than it dictating those needs. We're really grateful at Beam Suntory that Planisware has been an excellent partner for us. We've worked together to grow, and we've grown together, I think, as well, right? And so the processes that are supported by Planisware, I think, would have been significantly more difficult doing manually. And so we've been able to grow our business considerably with OpEx increasing at a much slower rate than our growth. And I think part of that is because of the processes that we're able to automate using Planisware configuration, allow our project management team to work far more effectively than they otherwise would be able to.